Hey guys, welcome back to Mo's Game Table. Today we're going to take a look inside High Frontier for All Module 2, Colonization. This is an expansion designed by Phil Eklund and Jeffrey Chamberlain and published by Ion Game Design. On the channel we've already looked at the base game High Frontier for All as well as Module 1, Terawatt, and Features. Today we're going to take a look at Module 2 and I will be following that on with Module 3. So let's take a look at the back of the box and see what this expansion is all about. This module for High Frontier introduces new human and transhuman colonists, as well as the space stations they live in. Future space pioneers will live in mobile space colonies called Vernals, tailored for Earth-like conditions. Their job will be to teleoperate robonautic avatars on the surfaces of nearby asteroids and moons. They will come with unique specialties in politics. If you provide a Vernal space station for them to live in, they will give you more operations per turn. If promoted, they enable mega engineering projects called Futures for new ways to victory, which also needs Module 1. As a bonus, this module features extra advice and experimental rules for the High Frontier core game. And the components you get in this module: 28 new cards with 10 Vernals and 18 colonists, 5 playmat extensions, 20 space station miniatures, where you get 10 Kalpanis and 10 Stanford Tauruses, and 1 wooden space elevator token. So let's take a look inside and see what you get. And just like Module 1, these open like a drawer. They will open on the side. And we've got the expansion rulebook, the player mat extensions, a baggie, and our miniatures and cards. So let's take a closer look at the components you get in this expansion. And we'll take a look at the player extension mat that comes with the expansion. We have the nut thrust track as well as the transport track at the top. Below that we have a listing of free actions, operations, and then places for your Kalpana and Stanford Taurus. And the expansion comes with 10 Vernal cards. We'll just kind of scroll through them so you can take a look at the different Vernal cards that'll be available for you in this expansion. And you can see each of them is going to be unique, and they're going to also provide different capabilities, different challenges in your continued exploration of High Frontier for All. Then on the back we have the promoted versions of these patent cards. Again, different capabilities and more ways to enjoy the base game High Frontier for All. And we'll take a look at the colonist cards that come with the expansion. There are 4 base types. You have prospectors, and there are different flavors of the prospectors. Then you also have miners. Again, different flavors of miners. And then we have industrialists. And lastly, we have the engineers. Then we have the promoted side of the colonist cards for the prospectors. And we go to the miners. See, each of them has their own distinct look and feel. Industrialist and the engineer. So lots more to play with the colonists. And we'll take a look at the miniatures that come with the game. We have the Kalpana, which is a pretty sharp looking miniature here. Hopefully that comes out nice and clear for you to see. And then we have the Stanford Taurus, which is again another sharp looking model. And they all have individual stands, and even better than that, we have this really cool insert that each individual miniature will have its own slot that it will fit in, and that way it can be protected in storage. And we'll take a look at the expansion rules. This is a 27-page rulebook. Starts off with Module 2 components, explaining to you what all the components are. Then you have Module 2 setup and promotion. And then you have homesteading, anchoring, exomigration, core rule addendums, and Vernal and colonist card anatomy. So that way you can understand what each of the cards is in the expansion. Vernals, Vernal stack creation, rocket-powered Vernals, home Vernals, Vernal abilities, dirt side hydration, and then we get to colonists, professions, and specialties. We've already looked at those cards as well. Human and robot colonists, onboard nuclear supports, colonist abilities list, listing out all the different abilities. Then you have your Module 2 endgame and the scoring, and then the Module 1 and 2 strategy guide here on page 21, and that carries over for a couple pages. Then there are some experimental rules for High Frontier Core, like open cycle generators, batteries and battery generators, realistic solar flux, risky Oberth flybys, torch ship travel, and then colonization of the outer solar system, an essay from Phil Eklund. And on the back of the rulebook, we have the suggested early destinations from Jeff's Almanac. And that is a look at everything you get inside of High Frontier for All, Module 2, Colonization. This is an expansion designed by Phil Eklund and Jeffrey Chamberlain and published by Ion Game Design. This looks like another great expansion to this fantastic system that is just the pinnacle of space exploration in the form of a board game. You have now Vernals and colonists to add to your repertoire and expand out into the solar system in different ways. And these miniatures are fantastic, and they come with their own little storage system that will protect them while they're in storage. They're not going to end up getting banged around and bent, broken pieces, anything like that. This should fit in the base box, and it also holds your cards. So it's a great little self-contained storage system. Then you have the player mats. You can just slide those in with your other player mats for the game. And then you have the expansion rules, which are small, and that will fit inside the base game box itself. If not, you can always keep them in their own individual storage boxes that the expansions come with. But if you're a fan of High Frontier for All, this looks like a must-buy expansion, as they all will be if you really are digging into the game and enjoying it for all it offers. Well, I hope that helps you guys out if you'd be curious about this one. You have any comments or questions, post them down below. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.